In the top stories, St. Kitts and Nevis delegation attends 76th OECS meeting in St. Martin. New Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister makes cabinet reshuffle. And Israel launches airstrikes on Gaza, killing over 400 in escalation of conflict. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey. Nationally, Prime Minister Honorable Dr. Terence Drew is leading a delegation from St. Kitts and Nevis to St. Martin for the 76th meeting of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, or OECS Authority. The meeting, chaired by St. Lucia's Prime Minister Honorable Philip Pierre, will focus on key regional issues such as economic growth, climate resilience, security, and sustainable development. Accompanying Prime Minister Drew are several key officials, including spouse of the Prime Minister, Diani Prince Drew, Permanent Secretary Naima Hazel, Ambassador Larry Vaughan, Press Secretary Javon Liburd, and Senior Foreign Services Officer Bjorn Hazel. The delegation will work on strengthening diplomatic relations, enhancing cooperation in trade and healthcare, and advancing St. Kitts and Nevis's sustainable island state agenda. During their visit, the delegation will meet with Kittitians and Nevisians residing in St. Martin to discuss national developments and foster closer ties with the diaspora. The OECS, established in 1981, remains an essential platform for regional cooperation and governance, with St. Kitts and Nevis committed to supporting its principles. 14 students from the Clarence Fitzroy Brand College, SAFE BC, have been awarded scholarships through the Ross University School of Veterinary Medicine, or RUSVM, scholarship program. The SAFE BC is grateful to the RUSVM for its partnership. According to the RUSVM, quote, "It endeavors to provide opportunities for young people to grow and develop into the very best version of themselves through achieving post-secondary academic success and meaningful life experiences," end quote. The scholarship awards were presented to the students at a ceremony held at the RUSVM auditorium on March 12th. Endira Reeknoth and Lee Van French were honored with the Leadership Award, while Nyla Greenaway, Makeda Vera, Colleen Keynes, Denisha Eddy, Royana Warner, and Zara Brown received the Excellence Award. Tyra Henry was awarded the Edge Award, and Dylan Franks received the Glenville Henry Memorial Award. Destiny Davis was presented with the Denise Fifield Award, and Destiny Harvey received the Ermine Cotton Award. Additionally, Shante Mintos was honored with the Yvonne Cotton Award. Devonique Liburd received the Mova Simmons Award, and Michael Walters was awarded the Walter James Award. Along with the scholarship award, all recipients will also be offered a paid summer internship at RUSVM. On March 13, 2025, officers of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force, or RSCNPF, successfully recovered 3 illegal firearms and matching ammunition on St. Kitts. The first firearm was seized during a pre-dawn search operation carried out by the Anti-Narcotics Unit, Special Service Unit, and the K9 Unit from the St. Kitts and Nevis Customs and Excise Department. The search, which targeted a vehicle owned by Glenroy Samuel of Connery, St. Kitts, led to the discovery of a .45 FNX pistol with 2 matching rounds of ammunition. Samuel, who was present at the time of the search, was taken into police custody along with the weapon and ammunition. The second firearm was recovered later in the afternoon during a routine search of an empty lot in Connery, where officers found a Taurus 9mm pistol along with 2 matching rounds of ammunition. The third firearm was seized in a search of an abandoned building in the Dewars area, where officers discovered a Mach 11 submachine gun and 4 matching rounds of ammunition. To date, no arrests have been made in connection with the second and third firearm finds. The crime scene unit of the RSCNPF has processed all 3 locations and collected relevant evidence. Investigations are ongoing, and the public will be updated on any significant developments. Anyone with information regarding these or any other criminal activities is encouraged to contact the nearest police station. And we move now to news on the regional scene. Newly appointed Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Stuart Young, has unveiled his cabinet, introducing several new appointments while retaining many key ministers. The official announcement took place at the President's House in St. Anne's on March 17th. Just earlier in the day, Young was sworn in as the country's 8th Prime Minister, replacing Dr. Keith Rowley. On Sunday, Rowley announced his intention to vacate his position as political leader of the PNM ahead of its scheduled end in 2026 in consultation with the party's leadership. Among the key changes, Camille Robinson Regis is the new Attorney General. Vishnu Danpal replaces Colm Imbert as Minister of Finance. Marvin Gonzalez replaces Fitzgerald Hines as Minister of National Security. Imbert will now serve as Minister of Public Utilities and Hines Minister in the Ministry of the Prime Minister. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Young retains his previous portfolio as Minister of Energy. Former Grenadian Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell collapsed on Monday evening while addressing supporters of the New National Party, or NNP, at a political meeting in Happy Hill, Grenada. Dr. Mitchell was delivering his response to the government's ongoing budget presentation when he suddenly lost consciousness. Just before collapsing, he was heard saying, quote, "Brothers and sisters, I am blacking out," end quote. Some members of the audience, misinterpreting his words, initially responded with cheers, believing he was announcing his retirement from politics. A statement from the NNP later revealed that Dr. Mitchell had been battling with the flu but remained committed to delivering his speech. The party also noted that he was emotionally overwhelmed following the passing of a close family member on Sunday night. In response to the incident, the Office of the Prime Minister of Grenada issued a statement acknowledging Dr. Mitchell's collapse. Prime Minister Dickon Mitchell extended his best wishes for a speedy recovery and urged the nation to keep the former Prime Minister in their thoughts and prayers. Internationally, Israel launched airstrikes across the Gaza Strip early Tuesday, killing at least 404 Palestinians, including women and children, according to Gaza's health ministry. The strikes, which shattered a January ceasefire, were ordered by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after Hamas rejected Israeli demands to modify the ceasefire agreement. The operation is expected to expand, with Israel advising residents in eastern Gaza to evacuate ahead of potential ground operations. Netanyahu's office warned that Israel would act against Hamas with increasing military strength. The attack raised concerns about the fate of remaining Israeli hostages held by Hamas, with a senior Hamas official calling Netanyahu's decision a death sentence for the captives. While there were no immediate reports of Hamas retaliation, the airstrikes came as Netanyahu faces domestic criticism over his handling of the hostage crisis and other political issues. The Hostages and Missing Families Forum condemned the government for abandoning the ceasefire, saying it had chosen to give up on the hostages. The strikes have intensified the conflict, with Gaza's health ministry reporting over 560 wounded and rescue operations ongoing. The war, which began in October 2023, has already killed over 48,000 Palestinians. With tensions high and the ceasefire in jeopardy, the situation in Gaza remains uncertain, with continued calls for international mediation. And finally, in international news, Hong Kong Chief Executive John Lee has commented on CK Hutchison Holdings' decision to sell its controlling stake in Panama Canal ports to a consortium including BlackRock Inc., a deal drawing criticism from Beijing. Lee urged foreign governments to ensure fair trade practices and criticized coercive tactics, though he avoided directly criticizing CK Hutchinson or its owner, Li Ka-shing. Beijing has expressed disapproval through state-backed media, labeling the sale a betrayal of Chinese interests and accusing business leaders of aligning with American goals. The $23 billion deal involves ports at both ends of the Panama Canal, and approval is required from Panama's government. Despite concerns, Panama insists the sale does not affect its sovereignty over the canal. The deal's approval is significant as 70% of the canal's traffic involves U.S. ports, intensifying the geopolitical tensions. And now for the weather. Present weather is fair skies. Winds are light and variable. Seas are 1.2 to 2.1 meters or 4 to 7 feet with northerly swells. A high surf advisory remains in effect. The temperature for today is 27 degrees Celsius or 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Dry and stable conditions are likely to persist across the area and restrict any significant shower activity. Weather forecast for today predicts mostly sunny skies. Tonight will be partly cloudy with a 20% or slight chance of showers. Sunset for today will be at 6:22 p.m. and sunrise for tomorrow will be at 6:15 a.m. And that brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your presenter, Shanique Harvey.